Hello everyone, Anthony here. I've been procrastinating making this video, or really any video, so I'm just gonna do it like kind of ad lib now, instead of like writing more notes and just procrastinating. So what I want to talk about is this article came out on CoinDesk, let's see, November 11th. So probably like 10 days ago now. Today's the 3rd. So it starts out saying a new use case is emerging for cryptocurrency, helping women who suffered sexual harassment or assault gain financial independence while also protecting their privacy. Case in point, a sexual assault survivor. Notice that, so they use the word survivor in this thing, which is to pull at your heartstrings and get your sympathy by calling her a survivor. And also, what's interesting to me is in order to be a survivor, you have to be a victim of something. At least that's my interpretation. You can't be a survivor without being a victim of something. So it's also like reminds me or makes me think of like the double standard of like how Maria Paula Fernandez and like Chelsea Palmer and all them, they have no qualms about calling people victims themselves as like some weird like counter argument to people's rational thinking, saying that they're playing like the victim card. But then when the tables turn, they have no problem doing it the opposite to gain sympathy and support from other people. But anyway, it goes on to say, had she used a traditional crowdfunding site like Kickstarter or GoFundMe, the survivor would have had to provide a government-issued ID and bank account, which someone working at the platform might have connected with her story. Instead, using the Seeds Ethereum-based token allowed this first-time crypto user to raise the money without revealing her identity to anyone directly involved other than the platform's CEO, Rachel Cook. So I'm just going to get right into this with my thoughts, and I'll read more when we get around to it. But the thing I want to talk about is with privacy in sexual assault and stuff, and especially with raising money, is you're not allowing anyone to research or give proof before they're donating money to you. So you could just like go up to Rachel Cook, the CEO, and be like, oh, I was a sexual assault victim or survivor or whatever. Can you help me raise money on your platform? And so you're relying on maybe Rachel Cook will research into this and look up the woman's name and dig into it. But then also Rachel Cook is a woman, and not that there's anything against women, but they're going to be more sympathetic to another woman, especially if they're like a feminist or for the Me Too movement and all this. They're not going to research into it, and they're just going to believe the woman. But like I said, the problem is if you're giving money to someone, you should know that it's going to the right person, and you should verify their story. Just like when you donate money to charity, you don't want them like misappropriating funds and spending it on like sports cars or like high CEO salaries and all that. So you want to research the organization that you're donating to and everything, so you can feel good that you're actually doing the right thing. So this anonymous like fundraising for sexual assault survivors just doesn't sit right with me. And another thing, like think about like your name is tied to you. Unless like you change your name or whatever, your name is tied to you and your reputation. So it's the same as like with PGP, like PGP signatures and everything. You have a cryptographic signature tied to you that so you can vouch that it's your identity that's sending emails and everything else in case like your email gets hacked or whatever. So that's like a big problem with like Satoshi and all that. I'm not going to get too much into that, but with like all the people that like hacked into Satoshi's accounts and pretended to be him and everything, no one actually knows because no one is signing these messages with Satoshi's private key from Bitcoin. So you're you need to tie it's unfortunate. I know, like, it's an unfortunate situation, but if you're looking for public support or sympathy or help or whatever, you have to tie your identity to this. You can't just go you especially just can't go blaming people without like proof and everything, because that's no fair. Like, sexual assault accusations like really destroy a man's life, especially like if you're in a friend group and now all your friends, like, you tell, or a woman tells this story to like all her friends, and you guys obviously have mutual friends. So, or if you're in like the same city or whatever, like you guys know each other somehow. So now like that guy's reputation is destroyed, and people just take sides on it without listening to evidence, or without needing evidence, I guess, or because of this, like, oh, women who were raped should be private and all that. So one of the other things I wanted to touch on that comes back to the first sentence of the article: a new use case is emerging for cryptocurrency, helping women who suffered sexual harassment or assault gain financial independence while protecting their privacy. Setting up like a donation thing for a woman isn't really helping her gain financial independence. You're not giving her a job or anything like that. Like, I guess like somewhere in here it might say, I'll read through the whole thing later, but somewhere in here might say that she like lost her job or whatever. But donations aren't gonna provide anyone any independence. Like, it goes with this saying, like, give a man a fish, feed him for a day; teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. I mean, I guess you're just teaching this woman to how to ask for donations privately, I guess, instead of giving her any type of financial independence. So it goes on to say, the survivor, again calling her a survivor to gain your sympathy, received the token, which cost less than a quarter, as a gift from Cook in order to post a request for help through 30 apps that seeds free front-end tools such as Aura, an app for meditation. Users then donated through the in-app pop-up with their credit cards. So the way that Seeds works, from what I read, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, like, their website doesn't give much more information than what I'm gonna say. So Seeds is like a platform for apps that they can use to raise money. So instead of like a pop-up in like a game telling you to make like an in-app purchase for like whatever like little items there are in the game, instead it'll give a pop-up like, oh, do you want to donate money to this charity or this cause or whatever. And so then you donate money to that cause, and then I guess you would get some of the item in the game or that the app offers, and then a portion of that money goes to Seeds, a portion of it goes to the person that needs the funds that they're raising funds for, and then a portion goes to the app developer. So it goes on. Usually that money is split between app developers, Seeds 10% cut, and the end recipient who filed the request. But in this case, Cook waived all fees once the tokenized request was fulfilled. So again, like, sympathizing with this, which if she was sexually assaulted, I can kind of understand like being sympathetic with that and whatever by waiving the fees, I guess. I don't know. Cook said it only took 3 weeks to raise the funds, the fastest fulfillment since the token was first launched in 2017, October of 2017. She says, I met this woman, Rachel Cook says, I met this woman in person by coincidence, and we started talking about Me Too movement. Cook said, adding that people who experience sexual assault or assault at work are often afraid to speak up or leave because they can't afford to lose their job. So it's interesting that they say, I met this woman by coincidence and we started talking about the Me Too movement. I wonder like who brought it up, how that conversation like came about and everything. Like, did this woman bring it up to Rachel as like a way like, oh, I heard about your thing? Well, I don't know if she's a first-time crypto user, but again, we can't even verify if she's a first-time crypto user, so we can't say like how she knows Cook, or if she like brought up the Me Too movement in the conversation to be like, oh, thinking like, oh, Rachel Cook has the seeds that maybe I can like scam her and get her sympathy to help me raise money and all that. I also don't understand how it says, Cook said, adding that people who experience sexual assault or assault at work are often afraid to speak up because they can't afford to lose that job. So I guess this did happen at the woman's job. She was sexually assaulted. But again, like, we don't even know like the story, because a lot of stuff these days people say is sexual assault, but it's really not. And I'm not 100% sure why someone would be afraid to speak up about sexual assault because they're afraid to lose the job. Like, if there was actually a case and a trial and this woman was found that she was actually sexually assaulted and everything, then the man would likely lose his job. And if there's no trial or anything, then why even bring it up at work, you know? Like, why even bring up sexual harassment or assault that happened to you if there's not going to be a trial? And why would you even want to keep that job if there's no trial, if you're not talking about it with anything, if nothing's going to happen with it, like the guy's not going to get fired? Why do you want to keep the same job where you're in the same workplace with this guy that raped you or sexually assaulted you or harassed you or whatever? And we don't even know if this woman even lost her job, because it doesn't say that. All it says up top says, case in point, a sexual assault survivor used the crypto-powered payment processor Seeds to crowdfund $500 in September after the trauma left her unable to work for several months. So she was traumatized from the incident, had to leave work to recover, and then did she go back to work and back to this situation? If you see someone who abused you or mistreated you, that's just gonna completely undo all the recovery that you took all this time off of work from to accomplish. So it goes on to say, survivors, this is Rachel saying again, survivors have trouble giving themselves permission to ask for money, Cook said. The next logical extension I saw in that Me Too was, we need to talk about how this economic crypto system can meet this need. I don't understand how that like relates. So survivors have trouble giving themselves permission to ask for money. How is cryptocurrency gonna make it easier on them asking for help? I don't get that. Cook, an assault survivor herself. So, all right, so there is some type of camaraderie there if they're both survivors. So Cook may have never even like validated her story, this woman's story, before doing all the funding and everything. Anyway, Cook, an assault survivor herself, said she aims to make these anonymous requests more accessible for crypto newbies who need to help with legal and mental health costs. So was this to help with her legal and mental health costs, or was it to help her gain financial independence, or was it to hold her off while she found another job? $500 they said they raised. That's not really much for any of this, honestly. Another thing that I'm confused about is, with anonymously raising money, how are you reporting this to the IRS? It seems like doing this just leaves you like susceptible to legal troubles with taxes and the IRS and all that. The last thing you want to do is put someone who's traumatized into the potential of even more trouble. So this next stuff just goes on talking about like other people who have been helped get away from abusive husbands and stuff because of cryptocurrency. So it says, more recently, a North American cam model, so a woman that like shows her body off to make money online, pretty much a prostitute, I guess. Anyone that sells their body for money, I guess, would be a prostitute. More recently, a North American cam model told CoinDesk that she's saving crypto to try to get away from an unhappy living situation that is detrimental to her mental health. Selling your body for money is kind of detrimental to your mental health as well. I hate to break it to you. Since she alone controls the private keys and doesn't need to worry about external evidence like bank statements unexpectedly arriving in the mail. So they're saying like if whoever she's living with finds her bank statements in the mail, the solution to that, just cancel your bank statements coming in the mail. I've never even received a bank statement in like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Everything's online. Like, have a password. If you're gonna be doing things with cryptocurrency, you need good password management anyway. So like, whoever you're living with isn't going to know your bank password as much as they're not going to know your crypto password. And like crypto, would it even work in this case? Because there's a public address that you're sending money to. So like, if you're sending money, if you're like a cam girl, you're gonna have your Bitcoin address for people to send you money. So can't whoever you're living with just like go onto your campsite and see what address you have up on your website and everything, and then look at that? That doesn't make sense at all. So it goes on saying, this is another woman speaking, I guess. Being financially stable was the key reason I was able to leave my abusive husband. The developer who, like the model, spoke on condition of anonymity, told CoinDesk. Survivors, like other disadvantaged folks, lack wealth building vehicles. I don't see how anonymity or cryptocurrency helps make you financially stable. Jobs and saving money and lowering your bills are what makes you financially stable. Again, like, we all know what this article is designed to do. It's designed to tug at your heartstrings and not have you second guess this because you're being all sympathetic, so it can like convert you over to the left and everything like that. The other thing, and this quote really explains it. It says, "We're reaching a lot of people that don't think of themselves as crypto savvy." So a lot of this stuff that I see, like there's a lot of women in crypto reaching out to like cam girls and sex workers and stuff like that. And I think it's a lot of these women are thinking of use cases for cryptocurrency so that they can just the more people that use cryptocurrency, the more adopted it is, the higher the price of the cryptocurrency gets. And then the more useful this person is that recommended this and sets this up becomes, the more valuable they become in the cryptocurrency community. So it seems to me at least that a lot of this is like, I guess you could say like a power move to increase your own status and all that. And then to finish off the article, it says, "Crypto allows us to create systems that transcend broken centralized power structures," Cook said, and that's what we need more of. I think this whole like privacy thing around sexual assault and all that is kind of a broken centralized power structure. And also like the Seeds thing is still centralized. Like, you still have to go through the Seeds platform, and you're still like you're still Rachel in the Seeds platform still controls your money and controls the fundraising and everything. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that. Look in the description for my donation links. I accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and my Patreon as well, which doesn't have any support on it. So it would really help me to support me in all this. All right, take care, guys. Thank you, and goodbye.